I had one night stand with her. Her name is Lily. Now I'm looking for her. Can you help me find her?
I had a one-night stand with my boss, but he doesn't know I'm the one. Now I'm pregnant. What should I do?
Watch this video to the end by Mr. Hope.
One night, an unforgettable moment for the young billionaire from Los Angeles, a one-night stand with a woman whose only distinguishing mark he could recall was a mole on her neck. Would he ever see her again? Let's dive into the full story. Sweetie, I'm so sorry, but Mom has to leave for work. I'll come back home on my days off, though. I'm going to miss you so much, Lily, Anna said, wiping her tears and forcing a smile. This was perhaps the most painful thing she'd ever have to do, leave her one-year-old daughter behind. 7-year-old Lily was already walking but hadn't started talking yet. Mommy was the only word she could say. Is it really okay that I left Lily behind, Grandma? Anna asked. Of course, dear. Don't worry, I'll take care of Lily. Just be careful in Los Angeles, okay? Stay away from those shady agencies that scammed you before, her mother replied. Anna frowned. Even now, her mother couldn't forget that incident. It wasn't like Anna had wanted that to happen. Just be careful out there, all right? I hope your job goes well, her mother added. Okay, Grandma, let's go. Sarah's waiting, Anna said, referring to her friend. Sarah was the one who'd gotten Anna a job as a housemaid at the place they were headed to. She'd told Anna the pay was good and they'd get Sundays off. Grandma, please take care of my little princess. I love her so much, Anna said, her voice breaking. It hurts so much to be away from my daughter, but she's growing up, and I need to take a chance in Los Angeles to save for her future. She kissed Lily on the forehead as her mother held the baby. Forcing herself to move, Anna took hesitant steps forward. Even though she was reluctant, Lily was already crying, and every time that happened, Anna's resolve wavered. Go on, sweetie. I'll take care of Lily. Don't worry, I've got your father here to help me, her mother reassured her. Anna, tears streaming down her face, turned away with a heavy heart and boarded the bus. Here's your stop, Anna, Sarah said. Anna nodded and forced a smile. She'd thought they'd be working in the same house, but it turned out they'd be in different homes within the same gated community. As Sarah turned away, Anna pressed the doorbell of the grand house. Good afternoon. I'm the new maid sent by the agency, she said. The guard smiled and let her in, escorting her to the mansion where she'd be working. But as they approached the entrance, she froze when a tall man stepped out. He was so handsome, like a Hollywood actor, with a sharp nose, but he didn't seem to know how to smile, his brow furrowed. Good afternoon, Mr. James, the guard said. The man only glanced at them when the guard spoke, otherwise ignoring them. What is it? He asked, raising an eyebrow. I'm Anna, the new maid, she said. He lowered his gaze to meet her eyes, making her feel cold and wanting to vanish on the spot. All right, you can start, sweetie, he said with a wink. The Sunday dinner, a weekly tradition for the Kincaid family, was something they'd done for years. Mr. James's parents, though separated, came together for their son. Mrs. Evelyn, James's grandmother, was there too. Anna listened quietly, not responding, her mind preoccupied with the man she'd met earlier. Something about him felt familiar, but she couldn't place it. Even his scent seemed known, yet she couldn't recall when she'd encountered it. Are you listening, Anna? Asked Mrs. Doris, the oldest housemaid, probably around 65, with a kind face like Anna's mother. Anna suddenly missed her mum and Lily even more. Sorry, Mrs. Doris, I just miss my family, she said. Mrs. Doris smiled and approached her. Are you married, Anna? She asked. Anna shook her head. No, ma'am, but I have a daughter, she said softly, embarrassed, fearing judgment. Mrs. Doris looked at her, Anna was dressed simply in faded jeans, an oversized t-shirt, and a ponytail. She wasn't one to dress up like other women. "You know, Anna, you're very beautiful, if you just put in a little effort," Mrs. Doris said, tucking a stray strand of hair behind Anna's ear. "Thank you, Ma'am," Anna said shyly. "Just remember, don't barge into Mr. James's room. Clean it at 8 a.m. when he's gone. Don't talk to him unnecessarily. He hates that. He also likes quiet, so be careful. If you see women around, leave them be. That's not your job." Anna nodded, though she barely understood, as Mrs. Doris led her to her room and handed her 2 pairs of uniforms, black with blue trim, size large, though Anna was a small. Mrs. Doris said she'd start tomorrow, so Anna showered. The maids' quarters had a bathroom, and though she had a roommate, they weren't there yet. After her shower, she stepped out. The maids' quarters were at the back of the mansion, accessible through the kitchen or via a side path past the garden. Anna went to the garden. It was around 7 p.m., according to her phone. She wanted to call her mother, missing Lily terribly. "What's taking so long? I told you to go back to that club and ask the owner," a deep voice shouted. Anna froze, hearing the voice, and peeked around the wall. The bright light obscured the speaker's face. "Sorry, boss, they didn't get her name," the other person replied, scratching their neck. Anna wondered who her boss was looking for. "How's Lily, Grandma? Is she crying or looking for me?" Anna asked, nearly in tears, speaking to her mother on the phone. It had been a week since she arrived, and she felt so homesick for her daughter, even though she called her mother daily. The job wasn't hard. Once her tasks were done, she could rest. But she noticed her boss, James, often brought women home. His grandmother likely didn't know, as it only happened when she was away. Anna stayed out of it, as Mrs. Doris had advised. Every day, James brought a different woman, like last night and the night before. The word club always made her shudder, reminding her of what happened years ago. If she hadn't been deceived by someone back home, that incident wouldn't have happened. But she didn't curse it, because it gave her Lily, a cute and healing child. "Anna, you can clean Mr. James's room now," Mrs. Doris said. Anna turned. "Yes, Ma'am, I'll just finish this call and head up." Mrs. Doris smiled and walked away. Anna was happy her co-workers were kind. "Grandma, I'll call back later. I have to work now. Please take care of Lily," she said, ending the call. Her dream was to save enough to open a small diner in her hometown and support Lily's education. She grabbed cleaning supplies from the kitchen and headed to the second floor. "Good morning, dear," Mrs. Evelyn greeted. "Good morning, ma'am," Anna replied, smiling. "Clean my room next and later. Come with me to the mall," Mrs. Evelyn said, walking away without waiting for a reply. Anna smiled. Mrs. Evelyn was kinder than other wealthy people she'd met, unlike James, whose strange looks made her feel like she'd done something wrong, scaring her. She entered James's room as Mrs. Doris had said he'd left. Why knock? She set down her supplies and started tidying his messy bed, as if a storm had hit it. This was normal. It was like this every day. Singing and dancing with her headset on, she didn't notice someone emerge from the bathroom, wrapped only in a towel. The man was startled but secretly smiled, watching her. "Nice moves," he said, unable to hold back. Anna spun around, her heart leaping when she saw James grinning behind her. Her eyes dropped to his attire, and she looked away. "Sorry, sir. I thought you were gone. I didn't knock," she said. "My apologies. I'll leave." But he swiftly grabbed her wrist and pulled her close. The force made her body collide with his muscular chest. "Not so fast, Anna," he said. She could smell his aftershave, the menthol tickling her nose. "You look so familiar," he whispered, staring into her eyes. Her heart raced abnormally, and before she could faint, she fled the room. "Why do you look like you've seen a ghost, Anna?" asked Natalie, another housemaid, a 24-year-old who was a bit gossipy. They met in the hallway. Natalie held a brown envelope, likely for James. Nothing, I forgot something, so I stepped out. Also, Mrs. Evelyn said to prioritize her room, so I'll head there, Anna said, forcing a smile to hide her nerves. Okay, I thought something happened, Natalie said, about to leave but turning back. Wait, is Mr. James still here? Someone delivered these documents for him. She raised the envelope. Maybe check, he might still be there, Anna said, quickly turning away. Entering Mrs. Evelyn's room, she shut the door and clutched her chest, still shaken. What did he mean by familiar? Had they met before? She only knew him from working here. After cleaning, she cautiously opened the door, peeking out in case James was nearby. She was embarrassed about their earlier encounter, even if it was his fault. Seeing no one, she left Mrs. Evelyn's room. It had been nearly an hour. He must be gone. She pulled out her phone, past 9 a.m., and returned to James's room. No one answered her knock, so she entered, grabbed her supplies, and started vacuuming. Closing her eyes, she picked up the brown envelope and slowly opened it. Inside were photos of women she'd been recruited with, small-town girls like her, deceived and exploited at a club. She'd escaped after her incident, but she didn't know what happened to the others. She didn't want to revisit the past, but why did James have these photos and profiles? What was he thinking? She went downstairs to the kitchen, still troubled by the discovery. Anna, are you done with your work? Mrs. Doris asked. Yes, Mom, just finished. Can I help with anything? Good. Can you do some grocery shopping? Mr. James asked me to handle it, but I don't want anyone else to do it. Anna took the list and money, not bothering to change since she was just going to the nearby market. As she reached the gate, James's car honked, making her heart race again. Why did she get so nervous around him? She stepped aside to pass through the side gate. Get in, Anna, he said, lowering his window. No, sir, it's just nearby. I said get in, he repeated, his tone scaring her. To avoid prolonging it, she got in, but the car didn't move for seconds. He just stared at her, making her swallow hard. Why was he looking at her like that? When he moved, their noses nearly touched. She held her breath, frozen, until she heard the seatbelt click. Don't forget your seatbelt or you might fall forward. Wouldn't mind if it was into me, he said, making her heart race. She felt giddy, smiling to herself as she returned home. Even the guard, Mr. Larry, smiled at her. You seem happy today, Anna, he said. She cleared her throat. Oh, nothing. I just got a good deal at the market, she lied. Well, we should send you shopping more often then, he teased, laughing. She laughed too before turning away. It wasn't the deal making her smile. Inside the house, she saw a beautiful visitor with long ash-blonde hair, flawless skin, and manicured nails that screamed she'd never washed a dish. Anna felt self-conscious, touching her neglected hair. The woman was talking to Mrs. Evelyn, who seemed annoyed but hid it. The woman's flirty tone and exaggerated mannerisms grated on Anna. Mrs. Evelyn cleared her throat. Anna, dear, come here for a moment. Anna set down her bags and approached. The woman eyed her, raising an eyebrow with a smirk that felt insulting, but Anna ignored it. Michelle, sorry, but James isn't here. He's at the office, and Anna and I have somewhere to go, so come back later, Mrs. Evelyn said. I'll wait for him here, Grandma. You know it's been a while since I saw James, Michelle said, grabbing Anna's hand and squeezing it, glancing at her with a smile that hinted at something Anna couldn't decipher. All right, suit yourself. But I'm telling you, James has a girlfriend, and it's her, Mrs. Evelyn said, squeezing Anna's hand again. Anna smiled back, confused. What? This woman is James's girlfriend? How? Aunt Linda said James was single and wanted to meet me. Michelle's voice rose. Excuse me, lower your voice. We're not at a flea market. This is my house. What does Linda know? She's not here. I'm his grandmother and know my grandson best. Don't get me wrong, but James knows what he's doing, Mrs. Evelyn said. Sorry, Grandma, but until I talk to James and see him, I won't believe you, Michelle said boldly. Fine, I'm inviting you to dinner tonight so you can talk to my grandson and see that Anna is his girlfriend, Mrs. Evelyn said. Anna wanted to melt under Michelle's terrifying gaze, feeling like she'd be swallowed whole. Why was she in this mess? She came here to work, not this. God, help me with whatever's happening, she whispered to herself. Michelle left, and Anna spoke with James's grandmother. Ma'am, what's... Don't worry, dear. If you convince Michelle tonight, I'll make sure you're well rewarded. I'll handle it, and don't worry about James. He's easy to sway, Mrs. Evelyn said. Anna's throat tightened. She couldn't speak. What was this madness? This wasn't part of her job, but for Lily's future she agreed. All right, dear, don't worry. Michelle won't eat you. This is all Linda's fault, meddling in my grandson's life. Does she think I'll let him end up with a woman like that? Mrs. Evelyn fumed as they entered the mall. They had a driver, but he stayed in the parking lot. What if Mr. James gets mad, Ma'am? I don't want to lose my job, Anna said. I'll handle it. He won't get mad. I told him already, so don't worry. Besides, I'm sure he doesn't like Michelle. She dresses like she's at the beach, Mrs. Evelyn ranted, criticizing Linda's interference. They entered an upscale salon. Good afternoon, madam. Quick, get madam a drink and a seat, said a flamboyant stylist, sharply dressed and handsome. Style her up, my dear. Change everything, and I'll pay extra if you make Anna even more stunning, Mrs. Evelyn said. The three stylists examined Anna. Dry hair, dry skin, no life in her face. Don't worry, madam, we'll fix her up, they said, pulling Anna to a mirror. Girl, you're gorgeous. If I were straight, you'd be my type. Innocent vibe, one said, looking at her. Yeah, Anna lied, knowing if he knew the truth, he'd eat his words. She stayed quiet as they worked on her, waxing her legs and underarms, shaping her brows, and styling her hair. It took about 5 hours, and she endured it all. When they unveiled the mirror, she was stunned. Her dry hair was now glossy, straight with ash-brown highlights. Her skin looked like a celebrity's. Gosh, I'm beautiful, she thought, touching her cheek. Her lips were rosy, her brows perfect. Mrs. Evelyn froze when she returned, the driver carrying paper bags. Perfect, she said, staring at Anna. Is that you, Anna? The driver Benji asked. She smiled shyly. Don't be shy, girl. Be proud. You're the prettiest, the stylist said. She wore a simple red off-shoulder dress, her favorite color, with straight hair curled at the ends. She looked stunning, especially when she smiled. She didn't want to leave the maids' quarters, but Mrs. Doris came back twice, saying Mrs. Evelyn was calling. Nervous, Anna followed, unsure if she could pull off what Mrs. Evelyn had instructed. As James entered the house, unaware of the plan, his head ached from endless meetings. He just wanted to sleep. France, a sultry voice called. He turned. It was Michelle. Good evening, Michelle. What brings you here? He asked, confused, thinking she was in New York for her family's modeling agency. Oh, come on, sweetheart. Is that the first thing you'll ask? She approached, touching his arm. You're so handsome, even more than the last time we met. James knew she liked him, but wasn't his type. Their parents were friends, so he didn't want to be harsh. He wasn't a woman hater, but he disliked liberated women like Michelle. I'm upset you have a girlfriend, according to Grandma Evelyn. Is that true? She asked. Wait a minute, he said, pulling away, confused by her words. "You're here," Michelle started, but Mrs. Evelyn interrupted, descending the stairs. "Good evening, Grandma," James said, kissing her cheek. "Come to the dining room. You must be starving. Anna's been waiting," she said, squeezing his hand, a signal she was up to something. He trusted her, but was unsure of her plan. "Thank you, Grandma, for inviting me," Michelle said, following. "No problem, dear. Say hi to your dad. We haven't seen each other since his business failed. I hear he's recovered. Good for him. But I hope he hasn't forgotten his debt to me," Mrs. Evelyn said pointedly, laughing with Mrs. Doris. "Where's Anna? Call her so we can eat. It's bad to keep food waiting," she added. Mrs. Doris and Sarah, nearby, complied. James was shocked at the feast-like spread, eyeing his grandmother questioningly, but she only smiled. "Michelle, sit," she said, gesturing. As James was about to sit next to Michelle, his grandmother spoke. "Dear, why don't you call Anna from the kitchen?" Noticing Anna peeking shyly, only Mrs. Evelyn saw her, seated at the center of the long table. James, puzzled, followed her gaze, and froze when he saw Anna's transformed appearance. She was breathtaking, and for a moment he couldn't blink, staring at her shy smile. His heart raced wildly. "Hi," he said, shaking his head to clear the odd feeling. "Hi," she replied, stuttering. "You're beautiful," he said again. "Thank you," she said, stepping forward. He grabbed her hand, placing it on his arm. "You're my girlfriend tonight, right? Why not start by holding your boyfriend's arm?" he said, grinning, barely recognizing himself. But as Anna brushed her hair aside, he noticed a mark on her neck, a mole or scar, and froze. Anna didn't know how to react, never having had a boyfriend. She held her breath next to James. "Looks like you won't give me a girlfriend, sweetie," Michelle teased. "Michelle, why aren't you eating? Anna's dishes are delicious, especially this pot roast, my favorite," Mrs. Evelyn said, serving herself. Michelle glared, so Anna looked down, unused to confrontation. She was quiet, unlike Michelle, who seemed ready to devour her with her stare. "Let me—" Anna froze as James took the serving spoon and served her rice, smiling. "Oh, how sweet," Mrs. Evelyn said mockingly. "Grandma, you know women like her don't last in James's world. A few months, and she'll vanish like a bubble, getting what she wants. Gold diggers like Anna," Michelle said. Anna lifted her head, meeting Michelle's smirk. "I'm not that kind of woman, Miss Michelle. I'm right in front of you. I hope your manners match your education, because from what I see, uneducated people outshine you in class," Anna said, calmly but firmly. Michelle was visibly struck, while James smiled secretly. "Well said, dear," Mrs. Evelyn said, eating. Michelle stood abruptly. "James, enough nonsense. I know she's not your girlfriend, just a maid. I'm not fooled," she said. James and Mrs. Evelyn exchanged glances, while James continued eating, seemingly unbothered. Anna's heart swelled. She'd cooked everything, loving to cook. "James, your Aunt Linda said—" "That's enough, Michelle. We're eating, but you're shouting like we're at a market," Mrs. Evelyn said. Michelle took a deep breath, avoiding eye contact, focusing on her food. Anna's heart ached, butterflies fluttering in her stomach. She hoped it was real. "You're naive, hoping for that jerk," she thought, shaking her head at the voices in her mind. Was she delusional? "Really, she doesn't even look at you directly. You're pathetic," Michelle said earlier, pushing Anna's patience. After sipping juice, Anna turned to James and kissed him without warning. It lasted seconds, but when she tried to pull away, James held her cheeks, deepening the kiss. It felt familiar, like he remembered something in her lips' movement. Michelle stormed out furiously. Mrs. Evelyn stood to leave, whispering to Anna that she did great. Of course, who'd dare kiss their boss like that? She was annoyed at Michelle's words, but now regretted it, noticing James's subtle glances. When Mrs. Evelyn was out of sight, Anna turned to leave, but James followed her to the maid's quarters. As she tried to close the door, he blocked it with his foot. Her heart pounded as he stood before her, serious, staring. She looked down, but he lifted her face, their eyes meeting. He locked the door, making her heart race faster. God, what did I do? Is he here because of the kiss? She thought. Sir, I'm sorry, I didn't mean… Her words were cut off as James kissed her without warning. Did you ask permission earlier? Her mind teased. She was losing it. His lips moved gently. She tried to push him away, but he didn't budge. She was swept away by his soft, minty breath. He was skilled, like he'd done this often. Remembering he was a playboy, she pushed him away. Sorry, sir, but can you leave? She said, trembling, pressing herself against the wall, fearing his gaze hinted at her being his next conquest. Before you worked here, where else did you work? His deep voice asked, snapping her back. She frowned, wondering why he asked. She'd never tell him she was a club girl. I'm asking, besides being a maid, what other jobs did you have? Did you work at a club? Were you a paid girl there, Anna? Her hand flew, slapping him hard, stopping him. Yes, you're my boss, but calling me a paid girl isn't right. Just because I kissed you or you kissed me doesn't mean that. I respect you as my boss, but please respect me as a person and your maid, she said, panting, glaring at James, who seemed shocked by the slap. No, not like… Get out, sir, before I lose it and hit you with this lamp, she shouted, unplugging it. Okay, I'm leaving. Put that down, he said, exiting quickly. She slammed the door and cried. Did he have to ask that just because she kissed him unprompted? It felt like he judged her instantly. I don't know if my hunch is right, but I think I know who the woman I was with at that club was, James said, slightly drunk, at a bar in downtown Los Angeles with his friend, who was to blame for everything. If not for him, James wouldn't be this obsessed. He'd been searching for her for months, hoping to see her again. He was drunk that night, barely able to stand, but her scent, mixed with the drugs they'd given her, ignited him. He knew she was a virgin from the bloodstain on the club's VIP room's white sheets. He asked around, but no one knew her name. She didn't speak. He went to the club every Saturday and Sunday, hoping she'd return, but months passed with no trace. He hired an investigator, call him crazy, but he couldn't forget her. She consumed him that night. He didn't see her face clearly, or if he did, the alcohol blurred it. All he remembered was the mark on her neck, a mole or scar. Have you talked to her? His friend asked eagerly. Not yet, I'm not 100% sure, but I'll find out, James said. His friend teased him, but James didn't respond, ordering another drink. Meanwhile, Anna couldn't sleep, her mind still on James. She saw Sarah and Mrs. Doris asleep, so she put on a cardigan and went to the garden, hoping fresh air would help her sleep. Her phone showed 1:30 a.m. She looked at the sky, arms crossed, feeling the chill despite her cardigan. Tears fell as she thought of Lily, whom she loved deeply, even not knowing the man who'd been with her. After being dressed in red lingerie, she was led to a dimly lit room with only a lampshade. They'd given her something that made her feel drunk without alcohol. It was painful, but it brought Lily into her life. Sometimes she wondered who Lily's father was. Hearing rustling, she hid in the shadows. Peeking out, her heart raced seeing James, who made her smile despite his earlier words. He stumbled and she rushed to help. He looked surprised, staring at her. It's you, honey. Your slap hurt, he said, losing balance. Unable to hold his weight, she dropped him, falling on top as he pulled her. I think I'm crazy for you, honey, he said. She blushed in the dark, trying to stand, but he hugged her. Exhausted, Anna laid James on his bed. He was drunk, passed out without changing, shoes still on. She wasn't here to find a husband, but now felt like one. Despite her anger, she removed his shoes and unbuttoned his dark blue long-sleeve shirt, her hands trembling as his chiseled body appeared. She sweated despite the air-conditioned room, relieved when done. She covered him, turned off the light, and left the lampshade on. Glancing back, she heard him mumble, "It's you, Anna, I'm sure," while asleep. She left quickly. It was 2 a.m., and she was finally sleepy. The next morning, she overslept until Mrs. Doris woke her. Yawning, she went to the bathroom, wrapped in a pink towel, her hair in another. She'd showered for 6 minutes, rushing since it was late. Someone knocked as she searched for clothes. "Yes, Mrs. Doris, sorry, I'm coming," she said loudly, opening the door. But it wasn't Mrs. Doris. It was James, hands in pockets, standing there. Shocked, she tried to close the door, but he stopped it. "Anna, wait," he said, pushing inside and locking the door. "Sir, I'm changing. Can you leave?" she said angrily, unaware her towel had loosened. It fell, and they froze, staring at each other. James was stunned, unprepared. "Pervert, turn around," she yelled, snapping him out of it. "Oh, right," he said, turning as she pushed him. "Don't look," she warned. "Sorry, my bad," he laughed. "Sir, the investigator called 3 times. His voice brought James back. He cleared his throat. "Sorry, what?" His focus was on Anna, her sexy body lingering in his mind. He loosened his tie, feeling hot. "Nothing. What did you say?" He lied, claiming he was distracted. "You told me to find Anna Manala among Madame Amore's girls." "Yeah, anything?" "She's not there, sir," the investigator said, disappointing James. But he added, "I thought she might have used another name, so I showed her picture to Madame Amore's girls. Madame Amore recognized her, said she was called Salad, a girl who escaped. She never forgot her. You were her first customer before she vanished that night." James was stunned, absorbing the words, swallowing hard. "I'm still gathering information. The girls were deceived like Anna. It's a miracle she escaped. The others are still there, initially locked up, then freed but stayed, feeling trapped in hell." James's jaw clenched. "Get more evidence, report that club to the police, and shut it down to end those women's suffering," he said firmly. He was right. It was her, the one he'd been searching for, right in his home. He stood. "Cancel all my meetings. I won't return this afternoon," he told his secretary. "Yes, sir." He needed to talk to Anna. She was the only one he'd been with, haunting him for nearly a year. Now that he knew her, he wouldn't let her go. "Ma'am, I'm sorry, but I'm leaving," Anna told Mrs. Evelyn in the living room. "What? Why so sudden? Is there a problem?" Mrs. Evelyn asked, concerned. "No, ma'am, you've been so kind, but I have to go." "Thank you for the money, but I can't accept it." "Why, dear? I told you it's payment for your favor." "Take it," Mrs. Evelyn insisted, offering the envelope again. "Anna, I'll miss you. Is there a problem with us or Sarah? Tell us so we can talk," Sarah pleaded. But Anna's decision was final. Lily was sick, and she needed to be there. "You've been so good, but I won't trade my daughter for my job. If things get better, I'll return, and you'll welcome me back," Anna said, tearfully hugging Mrs. Evelyn. "Take care. Text me," Sarah said, hugging her. Even Mrs. Doris teared up. Though only there 2 weeks, Anna had grown close to them, especially Mrs. Evelyn. She took a taxi waiting outside the gate. As they left the community, she passed James's car. She wanted to stop and say goodbye, but didn't, crying silently. Her hidden admiration for him was just blossoming, but would now end. It was evening when Anna reached her small town in rural California. Exhausted, she didn't stop at the bus station, buying only biscuits and water. She'd called her mother, They were heading to the nearest hospital with Lily, whose platelet count had dropped, possibly dengue. Anna was nervous and shaking, waiting to reach the hospital. "Here, sir," she told the driver, paying and rushing with her travel bag and backpack. At the hospital's information desk, she asked to leave her bags, and the nurse agreed. She inquired about Maria Lily Manala. "Children's ward, ma'am," the nurse said. Anna ran to the second floor, crying but holding back tears, terrified. She called her mother repeatedly, but no answer, heightening her fear. She peeked into every ward, seeing many sick children, some with the same illness. Her heart sank, pitying them. "Mom," she called, spotting her mother in the hallway. "Anna, you're here," her mother said, exhausted, with dark circles under her eyes. Anna hugged her, sobbing. "It'll be okay, dear. Where's Lily, Mom?" she asked, wiping tears. "She's with your grandpa. I was just getting some things and a fan. It's so hot here." Anna felt for her daughter and hurried to her. Seeing her father, she ran to them. Lily was asleep on a hospital bed, small enough for one child. Her mother was right. It was hot, crowded with patients and their families. This was life for the poor. No private rooms, just wards. Anna kissed her father's hand and approached Lily, who had an IV in her wrist. She pitied her 1-year-old enduring this. "Anna, we're going out. There's no bed for you here. We'll bring a folding bed and fan. I'll cook rice too," her mother said. Anna reached into her bag, handing her mother $40. "Buy Lily diapers, milk, her bottle holder, Wilkins water, and food," she said. Her mother nodded and left, but Anna noticed a familiar man at the ward's entrance. "James," she whispered, ducking to hide. "God, why's he here?" When James reached the mansion, Anna was gone. His grandmother said she'd just left in a taxi, so he sped off without explaining, asking only for Anna's address. On the drive, he was restless. Why didn't she say goodbye? His grandmother mentioned an emergency. He wondered if it was because of that morning's towel incident. Not his fault her towel fell, though anyone would stare at her stunning figure. Hours later, he reached the bus station, spotting Anna, but missing her as she took a motorcycle taxi. He followed to the hospital, thinking a relative might be there. Waiting for her to exit the taxi, he followed, asking the nurse where she went. "Children's ward," she said. He hurried, passing an older couple, likely her parents. "He's at the end," a woman said, giggling. He thanked her, spotting Anna's back. He didn't speak, staring at the baby girl on the bed with an IV, feeling pity. She was cute, about 1 year old. "Why are you here?" Anna asked, standing and facing him. His attention was on the baby, feeling sorry for her in the hot, crowded ward. "Let's move the baby. It's too hot and packed here. She might get worse," he said seriously, seeing Anna's shock. Before she could reply, he said, "Pack up. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Don't argue. We'll talk after she's settled comfortably." He left her stunned. Music. Anna didn't know where those ideas came from, but her gut told her the baby was hers. Lily matched the wallpaper on Anna's phone, labeled My Lily. "How old is she?" James asked seriously. They'd just moved to a private room, breathing easier. Lily woke, crying, so Anna fed her while James watched. "1 last month," Anna said nervously, unsure why she felt that way. He had no business knowing about her child, but he seemed interested, evident in his decision to move Lily and buy her needs, despite Anna saying she'd sent her mother for them. James fell silent, approaching Lily, stroking her hair gently. "Where's her father?" he asked. Anna paused, unable to answer. She didn't want to admit the truth. What would she say? A one-night stand led to this? He'd laugh or judge her. He'd already done that without knowing her. "My daughter has no father, and I don't need to explain why," she said, irritated. "Sorry, I just wanted to know," he said sadly, making her feel guilty. She was about to speak when Lily cried again. James touched her forehead, lifting her as she burned up. "Anna, she's feverish," he said, restless. Her fever had subsided earlier, but was back. James rushed out to call a doctor, while Anna grabbed a basin of water. Neither slept that night, watching Lily, who'd napped only an hour earlier, waking crying. Anna teared up, terrified. This was Lily's first time like this, and her parents hadn't arrived. James was her only help. Bravely, she called him outside, as Lily and she cried in fear. James returned running with a doctor and nurse. "Lay her down," the doctor said. Anna complied, standing aside, tears flowing. James held her hand. "Don't worry, our baby will be fine," he said. She stared, confused by our. "We need a blood transfusion. Her platelets are dangerously low. I told your parents when she was admitted, but they wanted to wait for you. Now it's worsening. We're out of AB+ blood and need to request from the Red Cross, but that'll take hours," the doctor said. "I'm type B, Doc. We don't match," Anna cried. "I'll donate, Doc. I'll give blood for my daughter," James said. Anna's mind raced, but she stayed silent as they left for the procedure. Morning came. Lily slept soundly. Besides the IV, a blood bag hung by her bed. Her fever was gone, so she didn't cry. "Rest, I'll watch the baby," James said. Anna was nervous, ideas swirling, but too scared to voice them. "James, who are you, claiming my daughter?" she asked boldly. He approached from the sofa. "I'm Lily's father, Anna. I'm the man who—" He began explaining how he ended up at the club that night, Madame Amore's VIP client, unaware Anna was the girl in the VIP room. He was drunk but knew what he was doing, unable to control himself. Anna only sobbed, unable to speak. They were both messed up that night. She'd begged and cried to escape, but he didn't listen. It was James. "I didn't!" Her slap cut him off as he tried to approach. "Don't come near me, James," she whispered fiercely, cornered against the wall. He'd given her Lily, but he'd violated her, ignoring her pleas. "Listen, I didn't know what happened. I was caught in the moment, seeing you in that room. I thought you worked there. I didn't know," he said. She raised her hand to slap again, but he caught her wrist, then the other as she tried again. "Let me go, James," she shouted. "Enough slaps, Anna. That hurts. You've done it twice since this morning. Don't push me. I can hit back," he said, their noses nearly touching. She swallowed, her heart pounding, praying he didn't hear it. "I cried and begged you, didn't I? But what did you do? Nothing, because you're heartless, soulless." "I hate you, James," she said. He kissed her roughly, biting her lower lip. She closed her eyes, tasting blood from the cut. He pulled back, staring, then kissed her again, sucking the wounded spot. "I'm sorry. Hurt me if you want, but you're mine now," he said, leaving her speechless, shocked by the events. "Anna, is this the James who helped Lily last night? Is he your friend?" Her mother, Ellen, asked, just arriving. "Good morning, Mom. I'm James Kincaid," he said. "What's going on, Anna?" "Yeah, Mom, but he's not my friend. Just ignore him," Anna said, huffing. He'd been there since last night, refusing to leave despite her telling him to. She was grateful for his help with Lily, but that was it. "Anna, watch how you talk. Has dengue affected your brain?" her mother teased. Anna glanced at James, texting and smirking, unsure if he was laughing at her or his chat. She was still irritated. "Oh, our Lily's awake. Good morning, sweetie. Feeling better?" Ellen said, smiling, lifting Lily, who smiled back. James looked over, standing. "James, thank you for donating blood for my granddaughter. It helped her recover," Ellen said. He smiled and Anna noticed. "It's fine, Mom." "Oh, call me Mom, not Ma'am. That's for fancy ladies," Ellen said, laughing. James took Lily, holding her carefully as if scared. Lily seemed happy, like she knew who held her. "Looks like Lily likes you, James. You two look alike," Ellen said, eyeing them. Anna's mother glanced between them. "Yeah, you really do." James was about to speak, but Anna cut him off. "Mum, can you buy some oatmeal outside? Lily wants it," she said. "Sure, dear," Ellen said, turning to James. "Be right back, James," she said kindly. Ellen was sweet, with a gentle face despite being 65. Anna snatched Lily from James, making her cry. "Careful with her," he said, but she ignored him. "What were you going to tell my mom? Don't try it, James. Even if you're Lily's father, I won't give her to you. Why don't you go back to Los Angeles and leave us alone? Why disrupt our quiet life?" she said. "I'm not going back without my daughter Anna. I won't let Lily grow up without me. I've been a bachelor for a year, not knowing I had a child. I'm sorry for what happened. I'm human and make mistakes. I'll fix this," he said. "Fix what? There's nothing to fix except leaving us alone," she said. The door opened and Ellen dropped 2 plastic bags of oatmeal. "What's this, Anna? What did I hear?" she asked softly. "Yes, Mum, you heard right," James said, explaining everything from the start. Ellen was stunned, mouth agape. "Then you need to marry her soon," she said firmly. They stayed a week in the hospital, with James there, covering all expenses despite Anna's daily attempts to push him away. Her reason was that seeing him worsened her feelings, especially his smiles and glances, doubling her heart's joy. But she wouldn't admit it, keeping it in her heart. "James, we need to talk to your family," said Danny, Anna's father, breaking the silence as they sat on bamboo chairs. Ellen sat beside him, while Anna stood with Lily by her mother. "Dad, are you serious?" "Yes, sir. If possible, I'd like my grandmother to handle it." "I'm fine with that," James said, smiling, sipping his favorite morning ginger tea. "If possible, we'd marry soon before I take them to Los Angeles. We can plan a proper wedding later when my future wife isn't mad at me," he said, glancing at Anna, who rolled her eyes. Danny thought, but Ellen tapped his hand, nodding. "All right, if that's what you want. It's good so you're legal living together, blessed by heaven," Ellen said. "Dad, really? This is so old-fashioned. The parents talk and I just listen?" Anna said loudly, waking Lily. "Anna, quiet. You're so loud," Ellen said, taking Lily inside to sleep. "This is for you and your daughter. Lily's growing and needs a father's care. I know James will be a good father, so stop being mad," Ellen said. Anna had no choice, but part of her heart rejoiced, though her mind resisted. She thought he hadn't suffered or courted her, maybe only wanting the child. The marriage process was quick since they had a child. James covered all costs for a simple gathering with Anna's close relatives to avoid gossip. While awaiting their wedding, James received constant calls and texts, having been in rural California for a month. His mother had nearly 100 missed calls, but his grandmother hadn't told her where he was, which was better to avoid her nagging. Anna nudged him when he didn't respond to the mayor officiating their wedding. "Oh yes," he said, distracted, staring at his stunning bride in a simple white dress, like a fairy. "You may kiss your bride," the mayor said. James waited for this, kissing her gently, like handling something fragile. The simple kiss sent electric shocks through Anna's body, making her close her eyes. That afternoon, James decided to return to Los Angeles, originally planned for Saturday, but an emergency forced them to leave now with his wife and child. "Take care, James, and your family," Danny said as they left. They drove straight to the mansion, Anna and Lily asleep from the long trip. They'd packed food, so they didn't stop. It was night when they arrived, shocked to see Linda, James's mother, at the door. "James, what's this about you being married?" she said, followed by Mrs. Evelyn. "I warned you, Linda. Leave and come back tomorrow. They're tired from the trip, and you greet them like this?" Mrs. Evelyn said, hinting at a brewing argument. "Aunt Linda, I told you I was right," Michelle said, hugging Linda, seeing James with Anna and Lily. "Not now, ma'am. My family needs rest," James said. Mrs. Evelyn smiled while Linda followed them to the stairs. "I don't approve, James," she said. "Mrs. Doris, call the guards," Mrs. Evelyn said, turning away. "Yes, ma'am." "Are we sleeping together?" Anna asked, surprising James as he sat on the bed after using the bathroom. She'd just entered the room. "The bed's big enough for us," he said, but she didn't reply, entering the bathroom. He laid a comforter on the floor to sleep there, knowing she was still uneasy with him. He wasn't rushing, he could wait for her to be comfortable. At night he took cold showers to cool his desire, which flared whenever he saw Anna, his body reacting on its own. Anna lingered in the bathroom, hoping James would be asleep when she emerged. She couldn't handle his stares or glances, knowing he wanted something but was shy. She didn't know how to be a wife, never having had a boyfriend, only learning from novels and TV. She'd experienced it once, but it wasn't pleasant. She was startled to see James on the floor, asleep, using only a comforter and one pillow, while 3 were on the bed. Feeling guilty, she wanted him to join her but was too shy to wake him. Lying in bed, she turned off the light, leaving the lampshade on. The window and curtains were closed, the moonlight barely seeping through. She tossed and turned, unable to sleep, peeking at James, who seemed cold without a blanket. She knew she'd regret it. "James," she whispered, waiting, but no reply. "James, are you awake?" she called softly, but he seemed fast asleep. Disappointed, she got up, gently tapping his back. "James, move to the bed," she whispered. "France, it's hard." She covered her mouth as he pulled her down. "You waited until I was freezing to take pity on me?" he said, their faces so close she felt cross-eyed. With him above her, she couldn't finish her thought as he kissed her gently, making her close her eyes. His hands moved, but he stopped, looking at her, asking permission. What should she say? It was fine. They were married. She smiled and he kissed her again. "Is this my granddaughter?" Mrs. Evelyn said joyfully, holding Lily, who laughed in her arms. Lily could walk, but was often carried by Anna. "She's so pretty, just like you, Anna," Mrs. Evelyn said, knowing everything without objection, thrilled James had a child she'd long dreamed of. She knew about the club and Anna's past, told by James. "Thank you, ma'am." As days passed, Anna adjusted to not working, but helped cook and clean when bored. Mrs. Evelyn disapproved, but it was what Anna wanted. Lily had a nanny and private nurse, but Anna still cared for her herself, used to doing everything. "Dear, want to buy new things for Lily?" Mrs. Evelyn asked. "We just bought some yesterday," Anna said, laughing. "Let me, it's my joy," Mrs. Evelyn said, making Anna smile. James was absent, catching up on a month's work. Sometimes he came home at dawn, and Anna missed him when they didn't see each other. The last time they slept together was 3 nights ago. She wouldn't admit it, but she missed him. He left early and returned late. "Grandchild, are you okay? You seem deep in thought," Mrs. Evelyn asked. "Oh, I'm fine, ma'am." "Why not cook lunch for your husband and bring it to him to ease your feelings?" Anna looked down, embarrassed. Mrs. Evelyn was a mind reader. "Don't deny it. I was like that with my husband. If only he hadn't been taken early." She sighed, her longing evident. Anna's phone buzzed with a text from James. "Hi, honey. I miss you so much. Have a nice day. Sorry I didn't wake you. I know you're tired with Lily. I'll try to come home early." She smiled, blushing. "Go on, before your phone melts," Mrs. Evelyn teased. Anna kissed Lily and went to the kitchen. It was 10 a.m., so she had time to cook James's favorite, pork stew with tamarind and fried tilapia with lemon. James liked simple food, and she was falling for him, her hatred fading. He was right, he didn't know what happened that night. She cooked happily, singing. "Someone's cheerful today," Sarah said, entering the kitchen. Anna smiled, not replying, needing to finish to deliver lunch on time. But shouting interrupted her. She left the kitchen and saw Linda, James's mother, furious, pointing at her. "Is this what you want for your grandson, Mom?" Linda said. Anna stayed silent. "Don't test my patience, Linda. I'm close to throwing you out," Mrs. Evelyn said, handing Lily to the nanny and heading upstairs. "I'm James's mother, so I should have the say," Linda said. "You're a mother, but don't prioritize your son's happiness. What kind of mother forces a woman on her son? You're shameless," Mrs. Evelyn said. Linda smirked, raising her hand to slap Mrs. Evelyn. Anna stepped forward, holding a knife she'd forgotten to set down. "Try it, and I'll forget you're my husband's mother," she said. Linda froze. "Leave, ma'am," Anna said, turning away. "I won't give you my son. I'll take him back. Just watch," Linda shouted, leaving. James was busy at work at 10:25 a.m., signing papers after a meeting. Leaning back, he rubbed his temples, calling his secretary. "Sarah, coffee, please," he said, hanging up. He checked his phone for Anna's reply, but found none. He missed her, despite seeing her daily. He had to finish pending work to spend time with his family, especially with a new project in Sweden. His partner Dan said it was fine, but issues arose from substandard materials. James had warned against untrustworthy suppliers, but Dan didn't listen, causing a building collapse. His head ached, debating whether to fly tomorrow. He didn't want to leave his family, but his grandmother would watch them. They'd move to their new home next week after his return, ready for their family. Music. Anna's name made his body react, a daily struggle. The office door opened, and he expected Sarah, but saw Michelle, smiling and approaching. He sat up. "Hello, James. Miss me?" she said, sitting on his lap, arms on his shoulders. "Your pet's getting bold," she teased, laughing. "What are you doing here, Michelle?" he asked, trying to stand, but she stopped him. "Just this once, James. Notice me. I heard you have issues with your Sweden project. My dad could help if you choose me over your maid," she said. He was about to stand when the door opened again. "Sir, excuse me, but—" Sarah started, but Anna appeared, holding a paper bag. Michelle fell as James stood. Anna's eyes showed hurt and shock. "I brought you lunch," she said, handing it to Sarah and leaving quickly. James followed, but Michelle grabbed him. "Let her go, James," she said. "Move, or I'll forget you're a woman," he said firmly, chasing Anna. Anna ran through the building's hallway, tears streaming. She tried to stop them but couldn't. It was her first time crying from such heartache, seeing Michelle on James's lap. Maybe coming to surprise him with lunch was a mistake. This was what love did. She admitted she loved James. He was her husband and Lily's father, but now she questioned him. Did she really know him, or was she just hopeful? He still seemed drawn to women, despite her giving him everything. She'd given it willingly as a wife, but now felt mistaken. She hailed a taxi outside, one stopping instantly. Inside, she wiped her tears, but they kept falling, her eyes never drying. "Oh dear, you're back early," Mrs. Doris said at the mansion's door, but Anna didn't reply, rushing upstairs. Mrs. Doris watched, shaking her head. In her room, Anna collapsed on the bed, sobbing into her pillow to release the pain, fearing she'd go mad. She fell asleep unknowingly, waking at dusk. The window was open, curtains drawn, cool air entering. She closed it, went to the bathroom to wash her face, hoping to reduce her eyes swelling from crying. She changed and checked Lily's room, but the lights were off. Opening them, Lily wasn't there. She expected her in the nursery, playing until tired. Leaving the room, she went downstairs, noticing red petals scattered. Confused, she called, "Mrs. Evelyn? Sarah?" But no one answered. Her heart raced, following the petals to the garden, where she was stunned to see James by a two-person table, set like a fine restaurant, just for them. Soft music played, source unknown. She approached slowly, still angry. "Where's Lily?" she snapped. "Please, Anna, I'm not in the mood to talk. Where's Lily? If you think this will sway me, I'm not like your women. I'm not impressed, and this won't erase my anger." She couldn't finish as James kissed her. She pushed, but he pressed closer, weakening her knees. Her anger slowly turned to longing, but before it faded, she pushed him hard. "I'm sorry, honey, for what you saw." "Don't, James. I knew you were a playboy. If you want Michelle, go to her. I'm not forcing myself on someone who can't be content with me. Say it now to end this madness," she said. James didn't reply, staring. "Speak," she demanded, turning to leave when he spoke. "I know you won't believe me because you've already judged me before I could explain. What's the point? Before you get mad, find out what happened. You saw us like that, but did you know it lasted seconds? I was washing my hands. I'm not perfect, but trust me just once," he said, his voice breaking her heart. She felt pity, but couldn't shake her jealousy and anger. "Where's Lily?" She changed the topic. "Grandma took her," he said, sighing. Instead of answering, he took her hand, surprising her, and led her to the table. Her favorite foods were there, looking delicious. As she ate, James watched, chin on hand, staring. She paused. "Eat. I won't talk because you'll get mad," he said, smiling, warming her heart. He knew her so well, but embarrassed she cut a steak and fed him. Surprised, he opened his mouth, smiling. "Eat," she said softly, staying calm despite her anger, realizing they were eating. Her anger lessened, and she considered Michelle's character, thinking she could trust James a little. "Is there guava juice?" she asked. He looked at her. "Wait, No, I want you to get it," she said. He scratched his neck, but complied. As he turned, Linda and Michelle arrived. Well, a date with my son. How sweet," Linda said mockingly. Michelle smirked beside her. Anna stood, facing them. "Aunt Linda, looks like you want to scare her again," Michelle said. "Trash, leave my son. You don't belong. I didn't dream of my only son marrying someone like you," Linda said. "Ma'am, I don't want trouble, but James and I are married, even without your approval," Anna said. Linda lunged, pushing her, making her back hit the table, which fell, and Anna sat down. "Good, maybe you'll wake up," Linda said. Anna felt liquid flowing down her thigh to her leg. "Blood," she whispered, hands shaking, growing weak. Before fainting, she heard James's voice. No matter how Anna tried to escape and forget the past, fate intervened. Of all the bosses she could have had, it was James Kincaid, her one-night stand from when a recruiter deceived her. She thought a good job awaited, as promised, but in Los Angeles, they were forced into a club where their bodies were the currency. She tried to forget, even though that night bore fruit, an angel she accepted wholeheartedly. But as Lily grew, Anna needed to work in Los Angeles, and fate reunited her with Lily's father. "Doc, tell me my wife's okay. Say nothing bad happened," James said, shaking the doctor who'd just left the ER. The doctor took a deep breath. "Your wife was pregnant," he said. James smiled, but it faded. "She miscarried due to the hard fall and heavy object hitting her. I'm sorry," he said. James slumped, glaring at Linda and Michelle, who were silent, seemingly praying he wouldn't lash out. "Doc, you couldn't save it? What kind of doctors are you, not doing your job right?" he shouted, eyes red. "James, calm down," Linda said. "Are you happy with what you did to my wife?" he yelled, turning to them. Leave, and remember, ma'am, don't expect me to call you mother after this. And you, Michelle, never show your face again, or I'll send you both to jail." His eyes blazed, pointing at them. Mrs. Evelyn arrived, stopping him. "Grandson, what happened?" she asked, looking around. "They killed my child," he said, tears falling. "Leave and we're not done," Mrs. Evelyn warned. "Get lost, Linda. You're a worthless mother. I hope you realize it now," she said. It was hard to believe Anna was 2 weeks pregnant, but they lost it early. James didn't tell Anna everything. She stayed in the hospital a few days, then he took his family to their new home for safety. When Anna was better, he told her, feeling her pain as a mother who lost a child. He stayed by her side for weeks, despite work issues with his father, Mrs. Evelyn's son, handling things. They'd had a rift, but James swallowed his pride for Anna, and his father helped. Linda left the country, perhaps guilty, apologizing to Mrs. Evelyn before leaving. Anna might forgive her someday. At their child's grave, after lighting a candle, months after losing their baby angel, James had built a headstone. Every Sunday after church, they visited to light candles. A breeze made Anna close her eyes, feeling her child's embrace. "Honey, let's go. It might rain, and you can't get sick. It might affect the baby in your tummy," James said. Anna was 4 months pregnant with their third child, twins, making her overjoyed. God knew how to compensate. "Be careful," he said, helping her into the car. Lily, almost 2 next month, slept in the back. Anna planned to combine Lily's birthday with their vow renewal, though James disagreed. But what could he do with a pregnant wife whose wishes he granted? "Have I told you how much I love you?" he asked as she got in. "Yes, every day," she said sweetly, laughing. He kissed her hand before driving. "I want mangoes with Nutella. Can we buy some?" she asked. He agreed, though puzzled by her cravings, unlike with Lily. "Let's buy lunch food too. Grandma and Dad are coming," he said, smiling. They'd returned from Anna's hometown yesterday, and Mrs. Evelyn missed Lily, so she'd visit with James's father, who had a new family but never forgot his son's milestones. They had no news of Linda abroad. Anna had forgiven her, and Michelle seemed to have moved on, even apologizing. Anna was glad, granting forgiveness despite reluctance. She loved James more daily, his care and sweetness doubling. He hired 3 maids so she wouldn't tire, keeping Sarah and Mrs. Doris at her request, while Mrs. Evelyn hired new ones. "Seriously?" James asked, frowning, enjoying a raw mango dipped in Nutella. "Want some?" Anna offered, but he refused. "You don't obey me anymore. You don't love me because my belly's big," she teased, pouting. He returned, hugging her. "What are you saying? I love you," he said. "Then why won't you eat it?" she asked. He sighed, taking the mango and Nutella, biting half, nearly gagging but smiling. "So good," he said, nodding, forcing it down. "I love you," she said softly, kissing him. Neither wanted more, content with each other and Lily, asleep in her crib. "I love you forever," James said. Anna leaned on his shoulder, sitting on the porch, awaiting their guests.